Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. Tonight, the Super Late Models will be taking on USA International Speedway for 125 laps of short track racing. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atman Weese. I'm excited to call all the action here on Intensity Broadcasting. Right now in practice, we see Donald Clark is on the top of the board with a 20.20. In second behind him, it's Eric Myers with a 20.23. So 300ths separate first and second right now here in practice. Third is Shannon Wilder. Fourth in practice is Mike Hasty. And fifth is Michael Wambold. Speaking of Mike Hasty, yesterday in the Thunderstruck Modified Series, Mike Hasty ended up picking up the win. So Mike Hasty will be looking to try to make it 2 in a row for Thunderstruck Series. A current look at the point standings right now. Sam Wetstein is your leader in points with 68 points, but only 2 points behind him. It's Josh Oswald. Third in points is Michael Swink. Fourth is Michael Wambold. Wambold has 1 win this season. And fifth in points is Mike Hasty. So a very, very tight points race right now, and definitely the actions of this race will affect who advances to the front of the point standings and who will fall down. Now, last week we were at Five Flag Speedway. We saw 12 cautions for 54 laps out of 125, and Kyle Martinson led all 125 of those laps. After starting on the pole, we saw Colin Hofner. He took second place. Michael Wambold finished third. Zachary Onan was fourth. And then rounding out your top 5 was Lucas Leone. So Kyle Martinson looking to try to bank. Actually, Kyle Martinson is not on the in the session here tonight. So it looks like he will not be getting 2 in a row. So unless Michael Wambold wins, we're looking to maybe try to see a first-time winner here tonight. That would be awesome. So we will see if that will happen. Oh, I did not know that. Says my third place finish last week got taken away, or I'd be point leader. I did not know that. Interesting. Thank you for letting us know. So right now we're just letting some drivers get some practice time and get acclimated with Five Flag Speedway. USA International Speedway. USA International Speedway, definitely a difficult track, and also USA International Speedway definitely, in my opinion, has one of the hardest pit roads to exit, as it's very hard to drift up the track and get marked for unsafe pit exit. See, Crystal Clark on Facebook says, let's go Donald Clark. Right now, Donald Clark is the leader in practice, definitely looking to be the favorite to win tonight's event. Let's see how well he fares in qualifying. Again, Clark's lap time was a 20.20, which is 300ths faster than Eric Myers, your second place driver. And it's looking like right now the top 7 is all separated by less than a tenth, which means I think we might see some close racing here tonight. See, Michael Grooms also says, let's go Donald. Donald getting ready to turn his qualifying laps here. These drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. Looks like we're going to be having some heat races tonight as well. Here's Josh Cole exiting the pits. Got to be very careful not to wash up the track and get marked for unsafe pit exit. There's Sam Wetstein exiting the pits as well. Your current points leader, looking to try to defend that here tonight. Mike Hasty starting his first lap. He's looking to try to bank on his success from last night in the Modified Series. There we see Dave Jones exiting the pits. Gene Watkinson coming off his first ever Thunderstruck top 10 yesterday. and he won the B main. He's looking to try to get another good performance here tonight. Michael Wambold, first driver on the board with a 20.39. Second place, Zach Wetstein with a 20.43. So right now, less than a tenth separates first and second. But Michael Wambold, your current leader. Josh Cole running in third with a 20.45. He's a little bit off of Wambold right now. Wambold improved on a second lap with a 20.27. Mike Hasty with a good lap, showing why he won last night. 20.32, less than a tenth off of Michael Wambold, but that was on a second lap, so he will not be able to get up there to the 181. Michael Swink looking to try to get a good lap time here. Eric Myers, your second place driver in practice, gets to third with a 20.33, less than a tenth off of Wambold. See Rick Rube slowing down after his lap times. Your runner-up in points right now, Josh Oswald. On his second lap, he does not improve. We see George Fernandez pulling into the pits after his lap times. Gene Watkinson is done. Donald Clark, your leader in practice, getting ready to turn his first lap time. All right, this is starting his first lap time for the 18. Making his way through 3 and 4 on to the back stretch. So Michael Humboldt. Is that better? Michael Humboldt. Oh, Michael Wambold. I got you. Thank you for correcting me on that. Aaron Johnson right now on track. Getting ready to start his first lap times. On his first one, able to get to 6th with a 20.40. Donald Clark to 2nd with a 20.31. But after leading in practice, he can't get to Michael Wambold. That 20.27 still stands as the pole right now. So that's going to do it. Looks like we have 21 drivers in this session. So that means we're going to have heat races. So top 15 will automatically advance from the feature. So from Michael Wambold to Nathan Hall, they're all going to not have to participate in the heat races. But from Josh Oswald to Gene Watkinson, they are going to have to get into the feature through the heat races. And top 5 from the heat race will advance. And there will be 6 cars in the heat race. So that means 1 driver will get eliminated. So it's going to be very important to bring your A game here in this heat race. See, Corey Bigley says go Revelry Racing and SPM. See how some of their drivers will do tonight. So here we go. We're getting set for your heat race. Take a look at your starting lineup. There we go. Starting on the pole in the 17 machine, we have Josh Oswald. Outside of him in that Richmond Water Heater Experts number 10 machine, we have Dave Jones. In the 3rd place spot, Michael Meanies. P4, it's Charlie Gates Jr. And then rounding out your top 5, we have George Fernandez. And last but not least, in that Pepsi number 111, we have Gene Watkinson. So here we go. We are now doing our formation lap. Drivers getting their tires warmed up. We'll see how this goes. Again, one driver will get eliminated and will not be able to participate in the feature. The question is, who will that be? We'll take one more lap before we officially go green. But again, your front row, Josh Oswald starting on the bottom, Dave Jones starting on the top. This should be a good one. We know Josh Oswald knows how to get it done. He was last season's Super Late Model champion. Didn't get any wins, but was a consistent top 3, top 5 driver. And then outside of him, we got Dave Jones in that 10 looking to try to put up a good performance here and put up a fight against Josh Oswald. Here we go, coming to the green flag. Okay, pace car's in. Green flag is out, and there we see Josh Oswald taking off. He has a nose over Dave Jones as we head into turns 1 and 2 side by side for second between Jones and Meanies. Meanies was able to get to the rear quarter panel of that 10 car, almost making contact there. We see the 10 of Jones getting a little bit loose off of turn number 2. We see Meanies now side by side with Dave Jones. Off of turn number 4, they're pretty much equal. Maybe Meanies with a little bit of a nose. And he is able to get clear. Michael Meanies up to that second spot now, and he will be setting his sights on your leader, Josh Oswald, who is currently sitting with a 1-second lead over the rest of the field. Fernandez currently setting his sights on your second place driver. Oh, and we see a caution flag is out. Looks like the driver who started in second place, Dave Jones, is around. That's unfortunate for him. He was looking very, very fast here early on. Let's take a look at what happened. So here's Jones heading into turns 1 and 2, running outside of George Fernandez. Falls in line behind him. You see, goes up the track to avoid running into the back bumper of the 49. And you see the car just starts showing signs of getting sideways, and he gets full on loose off of turn number 4. Slams the brakes to avoid getting too much damage right into the inside wall. That is unfortunate there for Dave Jones, but we are going to re-rack him, restack him, and get ready to go back green. So right now, with getting involved in that wreck, Dave Jones is now going to be sitting in that 6th spot, and if he finishes there, he will get eliminated and not be able to participate in the feature. So Dave Jones is really going to need to bring his A game here on this next restart to try to get back up into the top 5. See, Eric Myers says, let's go Revelry Racing. A little shout out for them. So here's a look at your current top 5 in this heat race. Got last season's champion Josh Oswald in first, Michael Meanies in second, George Fernandez in third. In that 4th place spot, we got Charlie Gates Jr. And then in that 5th place spot, it is Gene Watkinson. We know again, Gene, he got his first ever Thunderstruck top 10 yesterday in the Thunderstruck Modified Series. I know a lot of the drivers in Thunderstruck were congratulating Gene in the Discord chat. That is definitely, though, I know how it feels to get your first top 10 in a series. It's a big accomplishment. So shout out to Gene Watkinson for getting that first Thunderstruck top 10, and hopefully he'll have some more success here tonight at at USA International Speedway. I don't know why I keep calling it 5 Flags. I guess it's because both are Florida tracks. Both are very similar. And last week was at 5 Flags. Pace car is in. Green flag is out, and there we see Josh Oswald taking off. He is able to get clear of Michael Meanies. We see right now George Fernandez able to get clear of Gene Watkinson for that 4th spot, trying to set his sights now on Charlie Gates for 3rd. Dave Jones trying to work his way up to the field. He is looking low under Gene Watkinson for 5th, able to get clear. And the field's starting to get a little bit spread out. Again, Josh Oswald running away from the rest of the field right now. Charlie Gates trying to set up a pass on your 2nd place driver, Michael Meanies. Both drivers just ran their fastest lap time of the race on our most recent laps. Here's a look at the cockpit cam from that number 55 machine. Running that lower line, trying to use that low line to get under the 30. Oswald just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 20.41. That's 0.2 faster than everybody else right now here in this heat race. Josh Oswald is on a whole nother level compared to everybody else in the field. Starting to get a little bit spread out. Everybody just turning some laps right now, being patient with each other. Get another fast lap time for Josh Oswald with a 20.38. Still about 0.2 faster than the rest of the field. The 17 of Josh Oswald showing everybody how it's done here. Right now it's looking like we see Gene Watkinson sitting below the cutoff. It's looking like he is going to get eliminated unless he can reel in Dave Jones, who there's an 8-second gap between 5th and 6th. It's not looking too pretty for Gene Watkinson. Definitely unfortunate after Watkinson got his first Thunderstruck top 10 yesterday in the Thunderstruck Modified Series. Josh Oswald with a 2-second lead now over Michael Meanies. Oswald is absolutely running away with this thing. Definitely showing these heat race drivers how it's done. Although Oswald will be starting in that 16th spot, I kind of want to consider Oswald as my dark horse pick to win tonight's event. He's definitely shown a lot of promise here in this heat race, and I mean, he's already proven himself time and time again in seasons past here in the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. Josh Oswald is a good driver. One of the best here in the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series, and also one of the most consistent drivers in the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. Oswald looking to try to get 2 championships in a row in the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series after winning last season. And with a little bit of the break of the action, make sure to take this time to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,000 followers on Facebook and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by our 2-year anniversary, which will be in April of 2022. I think we can reach that goal as a racing and iRacing community. It's free, greatly appreciated, so make sure to drop a follow and subscribe. And also check us out on our Twitter as well. We're always dropping questions or polls for our viewers to respond to, so check us out on there. Looks like Charlie Gates has been able to reel in Michael Meanies for that 2nd spot with 4 laps to go. I think right now Gates is still in that pass setup process, but he's definitely making some progress and trying to make a pass on that 30. Looks like Gene Watkinson has now gone a lap down. It's not looking good for that at 111. It's looking like he is going to be the driver that will get eliminated and will not be able to participate in the race. Once again, unfortunate for that number 111 after coming off a great finish yesterday, but one person has to get eliminated, and that looks like it's going to be that 111 color. So unfortunate for Gene Watkinson, but there is always next week. Charlie Gates right now just continuing to try to set up that pass on Michael Meanies. Getting a big run here in 3 and 4. Almost got to the rear quarter panel of that 30 car. Let's see if he can try to make something happen here for the final lap. See Josh Oswald with a 3-second lead, almost 4 seconds. Absolutely dominated this heat race, leading every single lap. Keeping it clean through 3 and 4. Josh Oswald will win your heat race and will start in that 16th spot. We see Michael Meanies takes the second spot. Charlie Gates finishes third. George Fernandez fourth. Dave Jones fifth. And unfortunately, Gene Watkinson will get eliminated. So we're going to have another 2-minute practice just to get these drivers a little bit of extra practice time, and we will officially begin our feature event here in just a couple of minutes. So take this time to use the bathroom, grab a snack, and get ready for some awesome short track racing here with the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. We see swarms of super late models heading out onto the track to start their practice lap times and just to get a little bit more comfortable with the track. So we are going to take a quick break and we'll be back with the racing action here for the feature event. Looks like we got a shout out on Facebook from John Dickerman. He says, let's get it done, George Fernandez. George has not turned a lap time yet. No, he's going to get a little bit loose off of turns 1 and 2. Getting a little bit of practice time in before the feature. I'm not sure exactly where George is starting. Let's see how well he will do tonight. Looks like their leader in practice right now is Donald Clark. Clark will be starting outside pole here for the feature event and will have to try to get by your first place starter, Michael Wambold. And here we go. We are gridding for your feature event. Let's take a look here at the starting lineup. We're waiting for our cars to get onto the grid. We have been having some trouble with SDK, so we can't use the graphic, but let's take a look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole in the 181 machine, we have Michael Wambold. Outside of him, it's the 18 of Donald Clark. In that third place spot in the Christmas car, we got Mike Hasty. In fourth place, we have Eric Myers. And then rounding out your top 5, we got that Jegs machine of Rick Rube. In sixth place, from Port Charlotte, we got Josh Cole. Seventh will be the 78 of Aaron Johnson. Eighth is Shannon Wilder. Ninth will be Michael Swink.
The air temp is 71 Fahrenheit.
And then rounding out your top 10, it is Zach Wetstein. In 11th, in that number 82 cart, Shane Bedford. Got Smokin' Sam Wetstein in 11th. 12th will be Aaron Ward. 13th is Terry Bates. That 14th spot, it is Nathan Hall in that Warrior Wraps machine. And then rounding out your top 15, it's Josh Oswald. 16, Michael Meanies. 17th, Charlie Gates Jr. 18th will be George Fernandez. And 19th is Dave Jones. Looks like Shannon Wilder missed the start, so everybody who started behind him will get bumped up one starting spot. So that should be good for a lot of drivers. As we cross the line, it's going to be one lap to green. This time my pace car will pull in and we will start our green flag action. With, again, Michael Wambold starting on the pole. Outside of him, Donald Clark. The top 7 in qualifying all were within 1/10 of each other. This should be some tight racing. Michael Groom says, Donald heating up those rears. We do see a lot of drivers warming up those tires before we go green because you don't want to go into turn 1, lap 1 with cold tires. That can be a recipe for disaster. See pace cars in. Driver's taking one more deep breath, and green flag is out. We see Donald Clark taking off. Oh, and we see a wreck already on the start. Michael Swink, Michael Meanies, a bunch of drivers getting involved. That is unfortunate. Had not even completed a lap yet. And we see an incident. It's time for the wreckage replay to see exactly what happened. That looked disastrous. All right, here's a look at what happened. We see Michael Swink. He's restarting on the bottom, has Sam Wetstein outside of him. Shane Bedford behind him. Cross that white line, and right here we see Wombold and Clark go green. See Wetstein taking off. Looks like there's a little bit of a checkup. Hold on, let me rewind that. So looks like we see the 98 of Terry Bates gets a big run on Wetstein, and then Wetstein slides down into Swink, and this just creates this big pileup. Everybody checking up, going around, trying to avoid it. See Josh Oswald barely making it through. Yeah, it's a big pileup right there. Unfortunate. A lot of fast drivers getting involved in that one. We've seen both Michael Meanies and Terry Bates in the pits getting that damage fixed after that incident. So after not completing a lap, I would assume that the field, the positions are relatively the same. Of course, a couple drivers may have moved up or down after the incident. Top 5 pretty much stayed the same, with Michael Wombold in first, Donald Clark in that second spot, third, Eric Myers, fourth is Mike Hasty, and then rounding out your top 5 right now is Rick Rube. So right now we know Donald Clark was the fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, fastest in the he was fastest in practice, fastest in the practice after the heat race. We know he's fast. Question is, will he be able to get by Michael Wombold, another driver who was also very, very fast? It's still too early on in this race to tell. We haven't even gotten a lap in yet, but we'll see what happens here on this next restart.
Full course yellow. It's a closed.
So far, our biggest move of the race was Charlie Gates Jr. after starting in that 18th spot. And I think he was able to make it through the wreck. He was able to gain 5 spots, and we haven't even turned a lap yet. That wasn't under caution, so shout out to Charlie Gates Jr. for taking advantage of an unfortunate situation for a lot of other drivers and making it a fortunate situation for him. All right, we are getting ready to go back green here. Michael Wombold restarting in first. Donald Clark restarting in second. Let's see if we can get a better restart here. I do think, though, that was a racing incident there on the start. Just a couple of drivers checking up on the start, and that caused a pileup. Happens to the best of us, but we're going to re-rack them, restack them, get ready to go back green here. Here we go, coming to the green. Pace car is in. And green flag is out there. We see Michael Wombold taking off. He's able to get clear of Donald Clark. Side by side for second between Myers and Clark. See Eric getting a great run here into turns 1 and 2. Eric with the nose off of turn number 2. And looks like he's getting a good enough run. Able to get clear. Eric Myers up to second now. And Eric, oh, we see contact. Donald Clark, Eric Myers get into each other. And that is going to bring out our second caution of the night.
Safety car's out.
Let's take a look at the wreckage replay here to see exactly what happened and see the wreck that wiped out some of the top dogs in tonight's event. All right, here's a look what happened. Coming off the turn number 2, we see Clark running on Eric Myers' rear quarter panel. And we see Myers looked like he was able to get clear here on the backstretch. Clark taking a look down low, maybe trying to do a crossover in 3 and 4. We see Michael Wombold checks up a little bit there in 3 and 4. We see Myers slows down to avoid hitting Wombold, and Clark has nowhere to go except for right into the back bumper of Myers. Hits the outside wall. Don't think it was anybody's own fault. I think that was just kind of a racing incident there. Just some tight racing on a restart. We'll re-rack him, restack him, and go back green. Do see Eric Myers in the pits, though. Had to get some of that damage fixed. That was a hard hit into the outside wall for that 96 machine. Hopefully he was able to get all the damage fixed, so he will have that super late model back to normal. So with all that happening, Michael Wombold still the leader. Donald Clark in second. Mike Hasty third. Rick Rube running in that 4th spot. And Aaron Johnson in 5th right now. So right now, I think Michael Wombold is definitely the class of the field right now. But it did look like in 3 and 4 something happened where he slowed way up. I don't know if he locked up the brakes, but it just caused a big checkup. We'll see if that will continue to happen for Wombold and if that will cause him to get passed by one of the other fast drivers, Donald Clark and Mike Hasty. We do see Mike Hasty up to 3rd right now. Mike won yesterday's modified race in the Thunderstruck Modified Series. Looking to try to make it 2 in a row for Thunderstruck Series. We are only into the 3rd race of the season for all of the Thunderstruck leagues, so it's still pretty early on. A lot of drivers still have chances. If you maybe missed the first 2 races, some of the drivers making their first race here tonight still have a chance to be in the mix for a title. And we are getting ready to go back green here. Michael Wombold restarting in 1st. Donald Clark restarting in 2nd. Behind them, it's Rick Rube and Mike Hasty. Will Michael Wombold be able to hold off Donald Clark? Or could we see another checkup in the corners and Clark is able to make it by Wombold? We see our pace car is in. Green flag is out, and there we see Michael Wombold taking off. He is able to get clear of Donald Clark. Clark reeling in now. Wombold for that 1st spot. We see Clark getting a big run here into 1 and 2. Can he use that momentum to set up a pass? We'll see if he can do something here on the back stretcher in 3 and 4. He can't. Continuing to stay behind that 181. Clark is right there. And we are able to complete our first green flag lap here at USA International Speedway. Clark getting another big run here into turns 1 and 2. Can he capitalize on that momentum and maybe try to make a pass here on the backstretch? He can't. But I will say, when we see another yellow flag is out, Nathan Hall around, we see George Fernandez is involved. So right now we're watching Nathan Hall running behind Sam Wetstein. He's got Shane Bedford behind him. And it looks like this accident may happen here in 1 and 2 or coming off of turn number 2. We see Bedford's getting a big run. And we see Hall's car show signs of getting sideways a little bit. And boom, there we go. The car officially starts to spin. We see Hall slamming on the brakes, wanting to avoid hitting that inside wall. And he still ends up getting a little bit of damage. That is unfortunate there for Nathan Hall. Looks like George Fernandez also getting a little bit of damage as well, sliding to avoid the wreck. That is unfortunate for both of them. But Michael Wambold continues to lead. Let's pull in one of our drivers and do an in-race driver interview. Let's pull in your 7th place driver, Zach Wetstein. Let's see how he's doing right now. Zach, this is Atlin, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Thought we'd do a little bit of an in-race interview with one of our drivers. Right now we see you're sitting in that 7th spot. Have been able to gain 3 positions, but we haven't really seen too much of a green flag run right now. Just been able to avoid a lot of the wrecks and made a couple positions. Right now, what are you thinking with all these cautions? What's going to be your strategy to try to work your way up to the field?
Well, to be completely honest with you, I came home from work about 30 or 40 minutes ago, and there was about 10 minutes left in the session. I said, heck, why not? Wanted to race some Thunderstruck tonight. So my goal here is just to survive. If someone's faster, let them by. If I have a chance to take a spot, as long as it's safe, I'll try it. But ultimately just, avoiding the wrecks, not making mistakes, and just getting this thing in one piece to the end.
Now, if we continue to see a lot of wrecks, it's going to be all about having a short run car. Do you feel as though you have a good short run car here tonight?
Man, I wish I could tell you. It is pretty loose on the short run before you get heat in the tires. So, I feel pretty good about that. I've always been pretty good at controlling a loose race car. So, it'll just be about the ebbs and flows of the race, and hopefully I can at least get a top 5 here tonight. We'll see.
Well, let's hope that happens for you here tonight. Good luck on the rest of the race, Zach. Hopefully you have a good restart here in this next restart.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So that was Zach Wetstein, your 7th place driver, running that number 4 True Timber car. Look back up front. Here's a look at your current top 5. We see Michael Wambold is in 1st. Donald Clark is currently running in that 2nd spot. 3rd is Mike Hasty. 4th is Aaron Johnson. And then rounding out your top 5, we have Rick Rube. So here we go. We are getting ready to go back green here. Michael Wambold restarting on the bottom. Donald Clark restarting on the top. Behind them, it's Mike Hasty, Aaron Johnson. Let's see how this goes. Waiting for that pace car to make that hard left turn onto pit road. There he goes. And green flag is out there. We see Michael Wambold taking off, and he is able to get clear of Donald Clark. We see Aaron Johnson all over the back bumper of Donald Clark. Same thing with Mike Hasty. Clark trying to reel in Michael Wambold, getting a big run there in turns 1 and 2, trying to set up the pass here for 3 and 4. There he goes, getting a big run. But can he set up that pass? We see Michael Wambold doing a great job running that defensive line, trying to hold off Donald Clark. We do see Donald Clark just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 20.42. Right now, that 18 machine is a rocket, but can he use that speed to get by that 181? We will see in the next couple of laps. Right now, Donald Clark just continuing to look high, look low, but Michael Wambold making it impossible for Donald Clark to try to make a move. Shout out to that 181 for just doing a good job running that defensive line. Here's a look from the cockpit cam of that number 18 machine. Again, last time by, Donald Clark ran the fastest lap time of the race. This time, Michael Wambold ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 20.32, but still, Donald Clark staying within a tenth of him. We see right now, Clark trying to get as low as possible, almost getting into the back bumper of Wambold there in 3 and 4. That was a close call. The racing getting very dicey right now for that first spot. We see Donald Clark continuing to get really, really close to that rear quarter panel. The racing is certainly heating up for that first spot right now. Aaron Johnson able to get up to 3rd. He's looking to try to reel in your top 2 right now. Donald Clark just continuing to get more big runs in the corners. Looks like he has good entry speed, but then Clark is able to get him off the corners. And also, USA is a very, very hard track to pass, especially in these super late models. You really have to be patient and really set up those passes. With 25 laps completed, here's a look at your top 5. Michael Wambold in first. We see Donald Clark in second. Aaron Johnson running in that third spot. In fourth, it's Mike Hasty. And then rounding out your top 5, currently we have Rick Rube. Look back up front for the battle for the lead between Michael Wambold and Donald Clark. Still Clark staying right there on the back bumper of Wambold, getting many opportunities. Looks like that gap under the 181 opens on the straightaways, and then right before the entry of turn 1, we see Michael Wambold makes a descent down low to try to avoid Donald Clark sneaking low under that number 181 late model to try to make a pass, and that's where he's being able to hold off that 18 car. Aaron Johnson still trying to reel in your top 2. If these two keep battling, it'll slow both of them down and allow Aaron Johnson to catch up. Or if the two get into each other, that will allow Aaron Johnson, if he avoids the wreck, to get into the lead. So Aaron Johnson is loving this. He's got popcorn in his mouth, just turning some laps, waiting for something to happen up front. We see Clark getting into the back bumper of Wambold a little bit. That's going to actually hurt him a little bit, slow him down, but he's going to reel Wambold back in there in 1 and 2. See, Bell Clark on Facebook says, let's go Donald Clark. Donald Clark has had a lot of opportunities to try to get under that 181 machine, but he just can't quite get there. Here's a look at the cockpit cam from that number 18, just trying to set up that pass from Wambold, but every time on the entry of the corner, he's just able to shut the door just in time before Clark can get under him. And it's got to be frustrating for that 18 being behind a car for so long and having no success. And then Aaron Johnson's like, hey, I want to join the party too. He is caught up to your top 2 now and is looking to try to maybe affect this battle for the lead. Right now, Donald Clark having a lot of pressure, not only looking through that windshield, taking a look at that first place driver trying to set up the pass, but he's also sweating, looking into that rearview mirror, having a Aaron Johnson number 78 car right on his heels. We see right now Donald Clark. Again, I bet if I was Donald Clark, I would be very, very nervous right now, because you got a lot of pressure to make this pass right here. Because if he doesn't, Aaron Johnson might be able to get by him. Uh-oh, looks like there was a car stuck in the grass on the bottom. That's Sam Wetstein. I don't know what happened to him. But right now, Donald Clark just continuing to try to set up that pass. And one thing I do respect is I definitely respect the patience of that number 18 machine, because the thing is, you don't want to force things early. If you try to force something, getting into a wreck, it could affect the rest of your race. So Donald Clark knows that if he wrecks his car right now, it could prevent him from winning the race later on. So Donald Clark definitely being patient, being careful not to get into the back bumper of that 181 machine. Now he does have to remember that Clark also needs to run pretty much mistake-free while trying to pass Wambold, because one little mistake, one little wash up in the corner could allow Aaron Johnson to get under him. He's got to be very careful about that. Let's take a look at the cockpit cam from Aaron Johnson right now. Aaron Johnson kind of in the catbird seat right now. Just waiting things out, waiting to see if something might happen to Wambold or Donald Clark where he can swoop in and try to make a pass. After having those first 3 cautions, we've seen a lot of give and take here, and I think the drivers were like, hey, I think we had a little bit too many cautions. It's been a little bit of a wreck fest. I think we should tone it down. So I think we're seeing a lot of give and take, a lot of patience between drivers. And that also kind of shows the respect that these drivers here in the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series have for each other. Because also, these drivers, you know, they race with each other every single week. So if you treat somebody how maybe the person that you wreck, they don't really like that, they'll remember that and treat you that same way in the next race. So you really just, I feel like here in Thunderstruck, these drivers try to treat each other with the golden rule, where just treat others the way you want to be treated, race others the way you want to be raced. And I think we're kind of seeing that with the top three right now. Nobody making dirty moves, trying to dump each other. I definitely love the respect that these Thunderstruck drivers have for each other. But another thing is, it's still early on with the season. I know we see a lot of new drivers running with some of the older drivers that have been in the Thunderstruck for a while. So these drivers and the older drivers and the newer drivers are all just trying to get used to each other, looking for each other's tendencies, trying to say, hey, this person might wash up off the corner at this place or something like that. Drivers just kind of studying the competition, and I think that's kind of what maybe is going on for Donald Clark and Aaron Johnson. Just kind of studying each other. Maybe like Johnson saying, you know, Donald Clark might be a little bit slower off of turn 4. That's where I need to pass him. It's all about studying those kinds of things on your opponents. And oh, looks like Donald Clark making some contact with Michael Wombold. That's going to slow him down instead of helping him. That's going to hurt him. Donald Clark might be getting a little bit impatient sitting behind Michael Wombold for as long as he has been. Hey, I mean, I would be too. Let's see if Clark tries to take another shot here on that 181. Looks like that kind of occurrence hurt Aaron Johnson a little bit. He fell behind a little bit, and he's just now reeling back in. Your top two. He checked up a little bit just to try avoiding Donald Clark. Man, I don't know. That was a close one for sure. Let's see if Donald Clark has anything else up his sleeve. We're coming out of 50 laps. I think these drivers may be catching some lap traffic in a little bit, and that maybe could affect things. We might see Donald or Aaron trying to use these lap cars as a pick to try to get by each other or to try to get by Michael Wombold for that lead. Yep, we do see some lap traffic coming up in the distance, so we will see if that will become a factor. Let's see, that's George Fernandez and Dave Jones that they're coming up on. Let's see how this goes. And coming to 50 laps to go, let's take a look at your current top 5. Michael Wombold in first. Donald Clark in that second spot. Third is Aaron Johnson. We haven't really been covering the rest of the field that isn't in the top 3, but fourth right now is Mike Hasty. And then rounding out your top 5, it is Rick Rube. There we go. They have officially caught up to lap traffic. Look to maybe see Donald Clark try to use one of these lap cars as a pick to get by Michael Wombold. I am interested to see how this goes. Here they go. We see Fernandez goes up the track, just letting them go under. That is definitely the respectful thing to do. And we see Bates does the same. So it looks like Michael Wombold, Donald Clark able to get by cleanly. Definitely respect both of the lap cars for doing that, letting the leaders continue on their race. But I do think there's going to be more where that came from, more lap traffic for these drivers to deal with. And I think at one point it might affect some drivers using the lap traffic as picks. Donald Clark just continuing to try to make that pass on Michael Wombold, and Michael Wombold just continuing to run that defensive line. And once again, I mean, it has to be getting frustrating for Donald Clark right now. Just has tried so many times to get under that 181, but can't quite. Man. And then, of course, he still has that pressure from Aaron Johnson behind him. Aaron Johnson is kind of like the voice in his head just saying, hey, better make this pass or I'm going to pass you. Currently see right now Donald Clark taking a look down low under Michael Wombold. He almost got to the rear quarter panel on that 181 machine. That was close. He actually almost clipped him. That could have been disastrous with the leaders getting into an incident. I do want to check on one driver who started in the top 3 but then got into an incident. Eric Myers has made his way up to that 6th place spot now. Is looking to try to reel in your 5th place driver, Rick Rube. Just wanted to check in on him. Currently see Donald Clark just continuing to try to set up that pass. We're coming to halfway, and if any of these drivers were holding back, I'd say it's go time right now. Try to work your way up to the field, but of course, a lot of these drivers are definitely being conscious on how much they're saving their tires, because in the end, you want to have as fresh tires as possible. We've seen less than a second of tire fall off, so I think we've seen the top 3, top 4, top 5 have definitely been doing very, very good at saving tires. Right now, though, the top 3, you could throw a blanket over the top 3. That's how close the racing is. The question is, when is somebody going to make a move? These drivers have kind of been in a stalemate for quite some time now. We're looking for a driver to maybe fire a shot here. Like Donald Clark falling off a little bit of Michael Wombold. That could allow maybe Aaron Johnson to set up a pass. We will see. We are officially here at the halfway point of tonight's event, and I think right now I'm going to turn up the volume, pump up the intensity, you could say, and it's now time for Pump Up the Intensity. You'll get to hear the sounds and sights of the racetrack. Here we go. That's going to do it for Pump Up the Intensity. Hopefully you enjoyed us turning up the volume there. And we still see, oh no, Michael Wombold getting loose. Looks like he had some, contact, Aaron Johnson. Uh-oh. Looks like saw Michael Wombold was able to save it. That was a crazy turn of events. Looks like Wombold made some contact with a lap car. That got him a little bit loose. Then we saw Johnson got into him. He went around once again. And after all this happened, Donald Clark has been able to get up to the lead now. And Aaron Johnson trying to set up the pass now, running in that second spot. That was a crazy, crazy, crazy turn of events right there. And that is unfortunate for Michael Wombold. We will see if he can come back after that incident. Right now, the field getting pretty spread out after that. A lot of drivers checking up to try to avoid that incident. We'll see if Michael Wombold, who has just now gotten by Nathan Hall, who is the lap car, who I believe he got into, he's looking to try to make his way back up to the field now. Here we go. Let's see, Aaron Johnson looking low under Donald Clark here on the backstretch, setting up the pass here through 3 and 4. Johnson right to the rear quarter panel of that 18 as they come off of turn number 4. But he has to fall back in line. So, unsuccessful attempt there for Aaron Johnson to try to get by that 18. Let's see if he can try to do something again. Michael Wombold has reeled back in your top 2, and he's looking to try to pass both Johnson and Clark to try to get back up to first, where he ran for a lot of this race. See Johnson once again getting a big run in 1 and 2, getting right up to the back bumper of that 18 machine. Can he make a pass here, though? That's the question. I knew something was going to happen with those lap cars. I just was not expecting it to be a near accident. I just thought some drivers were going to maybe try to use the lap cars as a pick, but we almost saw a major incident there involving a lot of the top cars. So, first of all, shout out to Michael Wombold for saving that. That could have been disastrous if he hadn't. So that was a good save there from that 181. And he is caught up with the rest of the field. Let's see if he tries to make a pass here. Aaron Johnson currently facing a lot of pressure, not only looking in front of him, trying to make that pass for the lead, but he's also sweating, looking in that rearview mirror because he has Michael Wombold right on his tail. Right now we only have 10 cars on the lead lap. A lot of drivers have gone down a lap. These top 3 of Donald. Oh, look at this. We see Michael Wombold taking it to the high side above Aaron Johnson. This is the first time we've really seen somebody try to make a pass up there. I really just think it's kind of a one-groove track here at USA. It's kind of hard to run that high side. So Michael Wombold is really going to just have to try to make a pass here on the bottom. But from what I've gathered here throughout this race, it is extremely hard to pass here at USA. A lot of drivers have struggled trying to make that pass. Looks like Donald Clark is extending his gap. So we look now to that battle for second between Michael Wombold and Aaron Johnson. Looks like Aaron Johnson is extending that gap a little bit off of turn number 2. See Wombold gets a little bit of a big run there. Looks like Aaron Johnson has reeled back in Donald Clark for the lead. It looks like the field is kind of gotten spread out. We're past the halfway point. We're kind of in the point where everybody's just kind of chilling out right now. We're past the halfway point, but we're not into the part where you really have to kind of go crazy to try to get any spots. So I think that we're going to just see a lot of give and take here in this portion of the race. A lot of drivers just kind of in tire saving mode, just trying to save those tires as much as they can so they can have as much tread as possible for the later portions of this race, so they can try to make moves with as fresh tires as possible. You see Aaron Johnson has reeled back in Donald Clark for that first spot. I do want to look at some other battles on the track. We've really been only looking at the top 3. We do have a battle for this 7th spot between Josh Oswald and Zach Wetstein. Right now we see Josh Oswald trying to set up that pass on Zach Wetstein, studying that number 4 machine. Looks like there's a car in the grass. See Josh Oswald taking it deep in the corner there in 1 and 2. Trying to see if that'll help him. Looks like Aaron Johnson is reeled back in. Your leader, Donald Clark. Watch out for that 78 machine. Can he get up there? I don't know. Donald Clark's showing a lot of speed. Both drivers, Donald Clark and Aaron Johnson, running pretty much identical lap times. See Aaron Johnson right now just studying Donald Clark, looking at his tendencies, looking to see if maybe he's washing up in a particular corner or maybe getting in the brake a little bit earlier where maybe, or getting in the brake a little bit later where Johnson could get in the brake a little bit earlier and have a little bit more runoff. It's all about studying what the driver in front of you is doing. Look back at that battle for 7th between Josh Oswald and Zach Wetstein. Oswald still just trying to set up that pass on the 4 car. Wetstein has been in that 7th spot for most of the race, only gaining a position or losing a position a couple of times. But that might change here if Josh Oswald will be able to make it by him. Once again, we see Aaron Johnson trying to get up there to Donald Clark. And he gets a big run here in 3 and 4. In the next couple of laps, I think we might see Johnson try to make a pass here. Can he do it in turns 1 and 2? No, he can't. But that 78 definitely looking fast. Let's see what he can do here on the backstretch. Another great run there. Let's see what Aaron Johnson can do here. Haven't taken a look at the cockpit cam of one of these drivers in a while, so here's a look from the cockpit cam of Aaron Johnson. This is exactly what Aaron Johnson is seeing on his monitor right now. We're looking at what he sees, minus the ticker on the top, the Thunderstruck logo, and he can see his rearview mirror and seeing behind him, except for there's not much to see in the rearview mirror. Michael Wambold has fallen behind a little bit to that 3rd place spot. 1.2 seconds separates 2nd and 3rd. I'm not really sure what happened to Wambold. He's running pretty much identical lap times to 2nd place Aaron Johnson, but he can't quite get back up there. That's unfortunate for that 181 who led the first portion of this race, really. Rick Rube trying to make a pass on Mike Hasty for that 4th spot. We've seen these two kind of going at it for a little bit of this race, but we haven't really seen a real move get made. Let's see if that changes here. And oh! The tables have just turned. Yellow flag is out.
We think.
Let's take a look at what happened with the incident. I am not too sure what happened. Alright, here's a look at what happened. So we see Meanies. This was on the front stretch. It looks to me he's staying on the white line. But, ooh, I think one driver came up, one driver came down. They kind of met in the middle, and then Meany slid across the nose of the 99 hard into the outside wall. The two go around. Mainly Ward goes around, though. You see driver sliding, checking up, trying to avoid getting hit. Man, that is unfortunate there for all involved. We were having a good long green flag run there. So I think that we should maybe here under caution check in with one of our drivers. Let's check in with 5th place driver Rick Rube, see how he's doing on track right now. He was trying to make a pass on Mike Hasty. Rick, this is Atlee in the Intensity broadcast and broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yep, go ahead.
Awesome. Well, we thought we'd maybe do a in-car driver interview here under caution, and right now we're coming to 25 laps to go. You've had a good race so far, pretty much staying in that top 5 and pretty much staying behind Mike Hasty for that whole race. You've been just trying to set up that pass but couldn't quite get by him. What do you think is going to be strategy? What do you think is going to be your strategy for the final 25 laps here?
Well, hopefully I've been saving my tires, and I've been a little bit faster than him, but I don't know if I can do anything on this restart. Time will tell.
So far, how has the car felt, and how's the tire wear been going for you?
It's a little tight, so you really got to be careful in the corners that you don't wear them out, but I've been doing that, and hopefully it pays off.
Awesome. Well, good luck on these final 25 laps. Let's see how you do.
All right, thank you.
No problem. So that is your 5th place driver, Rick Rube. Let's see how he does on this next restart. Let's take a look here at your current top 5. We have Donald Clark in 1st, Aaron Johnson in 2nd, Michael Wambold in 3rd, running in that 4th spot. It's Mike Hasty, and then rounding out your top 5, we have Rick Rube. Actually, it looks like Rick Rube is in 5th right now.
Get ready.
But definitely watch out for that 96 of Eric Myers. All right, lights on the pace car are off. We are getting ready to go back green here. We're going to have Donald Clark restarting on the bottom, Aaron Johnson restarting on the top. This is going to be a 25-lap shootout for your front runners. Let's see how this goes. We still have 11 cars on the lead lap, but only one can win. The question is, who will that be? Will we see a first-time winner like Donald Clark, or could we see a repeat winner like Michael Wambold? Let's see. Pace car is in. Green flag is out, and there we see Donald Clark taking off. He is able to get clear of Aaron Johnson. We see Johnson with a good restart sticking on the back bumper. Oh, and we see cars around, Mike Hasty around, and I believe a few others caught up as well. That is unfortunate. Looks like there were a lot of fast cars involved in that most recent incident. Let's take a look at what happened. So, we're not able to complete a lap there in the restart. See, Mike Hasty has a good restart, has Rick Rube below him. And we see Rick Rube looking to try to get clear of Myers. I hope I didn't jinx Rick after the interview. So Rick drives it in here in 1 and 2. And looks like he clips the rear quarter panel of that 72 machine of Mike Hasty. Mike Hasty heads around. It looks like to me, I think, heading into turns 1 and 2, I think Rick just saw a hole open up. He thought he could get down low, but ends up clipping the 72. I do feel kind of bad because I think I might have put an announcer jinx on Rick. So I apologize. I apologize for that. I'm a Ravens fan, so I know how bad the announcer jinx can be. Especially with having Justin Tucker. So, I apologize if I put the announcer jinx on Rick Rube, but that was just kind of a racing incident. I think just Rick Rube saw a gap, looked down low, accidentally clipped the 72. I don't think that was intentional or anything. So right now under this caution, let's take a look at your current top 5. We see Donald Clark running in that first spot. Aaron Johnson in second. In third, it's Michael Wombold. Fourth is Rick Rupe. He got up to fourth after that incident. And then up to fifth now is Eric Myers. We know Eric Myers was running the top 3 in the beginning portion of the race, but he unfortunately fell after getting into an incident, but he's back up. Watch out for him. So while we are under this little break, make sure to take this time to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,000 followers and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and Facebook by our 2-year anniversary, which will be in April of 2022. It's free, greatly appreciated, and I think we can reach those goals as a racing and iRacing community. And it's already just hard to believe that those are our goals. I mean, 2,000 followers and 1,000 subscribers. Those being our goals is absolutely incredible. I think if you told us that we would be almost to 2,000 followers on Facebook when we first started Intensity Broadcasting, I would call you crazy. So feel so blessed that we've had such great supporters of the broadcast. I'm so thankful for everybody who has tuned in to watch the broadcast, whether you're an OG or you have just now started tuning in to watch our broadcast. Thank you. We are getting ready to go back green, though. Donald Clark restarting on the bottom. Aaron Johnson restarting on the top. Getting ready to go back green here, waiting for that pace car to pull in. We're going to have a 20-lap shootout. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out, and there we see Donald Clark taking off. He is able to get clear of Aaron Johnson, but Johnson staying on that back bumper of Donald Clark as we head into turns 1 and 2. He's right there, getting a great run in turns 1 and 2. What looks like Clark trying to extend the gap here on the backstretch, but Aaron Johnson staying right there. Johnson looking high, looking low, trying to find something, being patient, scoping out. Oh, look at this. On very, very old tires, Donald Clark just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 20.29. Looks like the tire saving for that 18 has paid off. Let's see if he can continue to keep up this momentum for the final 18 laps. Looks like Clark is extending his gap a little bit over Aaron Johnson. Michael Wombold reeling in Johnson now for that second spot. Wombold getting a big run off of turn number 2 and into 3 and 4. Let's see what he can do. Wombold trying to get up back to that first place spot where he ran for most of this race. I don't know if he can maybe get to first, but second place is still possible for that number 181 machine. Right now just looking high, looking low, trying to set up the pass. Looking to see what the 78 is doing. He might be washing up a little bit off of a corner, so Wombold might be saying, hey, if he washes up in a corner, I'm going to take a look down low. And also, look who's joining the party. Eric Myers was able to get by Rick Rupe for 4th, and he's up the 4th now, looking to try to add to the excitement for this battle for 2nd. And so this is going to put some pressure on Michael Wombold, who is not only looking ahead of him, but also looking in that rear view mirror, trying to hold off Eric Myers. Oh, looks like Wombold getting into the back bumper of Aaron Johnson a little bit. The stakes are high. I mean, any move. Oh, look at this. We see Wombold getting into the back bumper of Johnson is going to send him up the track. And Wombold able to get down low under that 78 machine there, side by side here in turns 3 and 4. A little bit of contact, and he is able to get clear. Michael Wombold up to 2nd, and we see Eric Myers follows behind him. Eric Myers able to get to 3rd now. Eric Myers all over the back bumper, that 181. He gets into the back of him and sends him around. Now that is how you make a pass right there. That's how you do a bump and run. Myers was able to get into Wombold without spinning him, but he was still able to move him and has gotten up to 2nd. So now Eric Myers will be setting his sights on your leader, Donald Clark, and he's going to have 12 laps to do so. currently 1.5 seconds separate first and second right now. Aaron Johnson, though, not letting second place driver Eric Myers get away. Wombold, frustrated after having a bump and run get put on him, is looking to try to work his way back up to the field by getting by third place Aaron Johnson. And also look who's joined the party. Zach Wetstein sitting on the back bumper of Michael Wombold. Eric Myers starting to run away from third place, so now it's a battle for third between Aaron Johnson and Michael Wombold. 10 laps to go for Donald Clark. That's coming into these turns. That is going to be 38 more left-hand turns for that number 18 machine. At first, it wasn't look like he was going to get the win, but he's really come on strong in the later portion of this race. We saw a little bit of check up after getting into some lap cars between Johnson and Wombold. He was able to fly by, has taken the lead, and is running away ever since. Wombold, speaking of Wombold, is continuing to try to set up that pass on Aaron Johnson for third. I know Wombold definitely got to be a little bit frustrated after getting a bump and run put on him. He's trying to work his way back up to the field and get back up to Eric Myers. But I don't know if he can catch Aaron Johnson. We will see. Here's a look from the cockpit cam of that number 181. This is exactly what Michael Wombold is seeing from his perspective. And I do know that also behind him, lurking right behind, is that number 4 machine of Zach Wetstein, looking to try to set up a pass with 7 laps to go. Let's see if he can get up into the top 4. Zach Wetstein right there on the back bumper of that 181. Let's see what he can do here. Wetstein has been chilling in that 7th spot for most of the race and has just now kind of turned on those rocket boosters. Let's see if it'll pay off, saving those tires. Definitely think that's what Zach Wetstein was doing, saving those tires. See Wetstein getting a big run off of turn number 4, getting right there. What's he going to try to do? Wetstein looking high, looking low, trying to find a gap to get under that 181. I don't think you can take it to the high side. That groove just hasn't worked for anybody here tonight. But there's no better time to try something new here with 3 laps to go. Just see if it works. Looks like Wombold has actually separated himself a little bit. So with 3 laps to go, we see Donald Clark sitting with a 1.8 second lead over Eric Myers. Ever since taking the lead, Donald Clark has just ran away from the rest of the field. And there we go, 2 more laps. 8 more left-hand turns. And Donald Clark will be your winner. What a race for him after starting in 2nd. Was patient all race long, and then the patience paid off, was able to take the lead, and has been leading ever since. 1 lap to go, final lap for Donald Clark. Has not gotten a win in the first 2 races of the season, but it's looking like that is going to change tonight. On the backstretch, a 2-second lead over Eric Myers. Through 3 and 4, no other car in sight. And Donald Clark will cross the line in that first position and will get his first win of the season. What a race for that 18 car. Patience paid off for that number 18 machine. After staying behind Wombold for many laps, we saw an incident happened up front that was able to get him to that first spot. And he ended up taking the victory. And of course, after the race, we have some after-race fireworks going on right now. And there we go. We see Donald Clark burning it down here at USA International Speedway. A well-deserved victory at that. Congratulations to that 18 machine for getting his first win of the season. Oh, and the Demolition Derby will begin. Aaron Ward getting into Donald Clark. I know Donald had a lot of fans in the Facebook chat, so we see a lot of people celebrating. We see Crystal Clark says, yes, congratulations, Donald. Jaden Groom says, let's go. I know a lot of people are definitely excited for that win. And there we see Aaron Johnson and Donald Clark celebrating, both Shock I-12 Racing teammates. What a race for both of them. So we are now going to do your driver interviews, starting off by pulling in your third place finisher from Hueytown, Alabama. We have Aaron Johnson. Here we go. Hold on. There we go. Aaron, this is Atlan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. I know you started in that fourth spot, and at first we had those couple of wrecks, and you were chilling out in that third spot, and then all of a sudden we saw you reel in the top two of Wombold and Clark. Both of them were beating and banging for the lead, and you were able to catch up to them. And you kind of just stayed behind them for most of the race, and then we saw that incident with the lap car between Wombold, and you were able to... You also, looks like, got involved a little bit, and Clark was able to get by, and you were able to get by Wombold. And after that, you kind of stayed behind Donald Clark for most of the race. And there, on that final restart, we saw Eric Myers was able to get by, but you couldn't quite catch up to them. But still, solid performance here tonight. I mean, what's your take on this race here at USA?
I thought it was a great race. It's yeah, during all them lap cars and everything, I had to take a shot. I mean, it was wide open for me to try to take a shot on for the lead. But I hate to me and him got together like we did. But, yeah, I mean, if you're going to leave it open for me, I'm going to try to at least make an attempt to take it. I'm glad to see Donald win. He's a good teammate of mine. And mainly, I just rode behind him just trying to save a little tire just to see if I'll have something for him at the end. That caution messed me up a little bit. So after that, my tires were pretty much gone after Eric got by me.
Got you. Now, how did the setup feel tonight? Was it maybe a little bit tight, maybe a little bit loose? How did it feel?
It was snug. So either way, it could have went either way.
Got you. Well, before we let you go, Aaron, is there any sponsors or shout-outs before we let you go?
I'd like to thank SPM, Shock I-12 Racing, Donald Clark, my teammate, Jason Warren, all the guys at the shop, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my sister-in-law, and my wife, everybody that lets me go on and do this.
Awesome. So again, congratulations on the win, Aaron. Have a great rest of your, congratulations on the third place finish. Have a great rest of your night.
You too. Appreciate it.
No problem. All right, it's now time to pull in your second place finisher. Got Mr. Eric Myers. Let me find him. Here he is. Eric, this is Atlan in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you, man. What's up?
What's up? It looks like you had an awesome race here tonight. It wasn't looking like that. It started off, we got into a little bit of an incident. You really had a roller coaster of a race tonight. After getting in the incident, fell to the back. And we really didn't say your name too much, but slowly but surely, you raked your way up to the field and got into the top 5. And then we saw on that last restart, you were able to get by Rube up to 4th. And then we saw you were able to get by Wombold and Johnson, and we're up to 2nd. But couldn't quite catch Donald Clark, but still, I mean, considering you fell to double to like 10th on back, I mean, you were still did a great job working your way up to the field up to that 2nd spot. I mean, what was your take on this race here at USA?
Yeah, it was a fun one. It was definitely it was a roller coaster for sure. I made my way up. I think it was 2nd there on like lap 7, and we were just I was just talking about there a few seconds ago, and we went down into turn 3, and I was just kind of going to roll in behind the leader there, and he just kind of checked up a lot harder than I was expecting, and I had to get on my brakes really hard. There's nothing Donald could do there, and Donald got in the back of me. I had my front brakes locked down a little bit, and I ended up spinning, getting in the wall pretty good. Thankfully, we have one reset, so our race isn't over. I think I went back to 17th or 18th. I had to drive really, really hard to get my way back through the field. Luckily, we got a really, really long run there, made up a lot of time. Unfortunately for me, I had to use up my tires. Caught a few breaks there with the late cautions, made up some good positions there, and put ourselves in a really good position. I tried to chase down Donald at the end there. I had to lay the bumper to I forget who that was there, and try to put myself in a position to try and get after Donald, but unfortunately I had quite a bit of damage there, and then my tires were just shot from having to drive really, really hard the whole race to make up all that ground. But to be able to take second after all of that, I'll take it.
Now, after falling back to that 18th spot, I know you probably were a little bit frustrated, but I mean, what was your strategy to just try to work your way back up to the field?
Just go like hell. Just drive as hard as I could. Absolutely, just drive it as hard as I could, and be smart about it. Obviously, take calculated risks. You can push really, really hard, but at the same time, you don't want to push so hard that you're not going to have anything left at the race. And then you got to be careful about trying to, obviously make moves that you obviously wouldn't want to try to make when you're trying to make your way through the field. But it's a 125 lap race. It's a longer race, but at the same time, it's not that long of a race. You still have to be patiently aggressive, take care of the tires, but still use what you got. And I think I did a pretty good job managing that. And just unfortunately, I didn't save enough tires to go there at the end. But like I said, the funny thing was I got out of the car there at the end of the race and looked on the replay, and I didn't even notice. I didn't even know that we got in the wall as hard as we did in that late race wreck. The right front fender was caved in pretty good. I think maybe probably had a little bit of suspension damage as well. But Donald drove a great race there. He was going to be fast no matter what, and I'm happy he got that win there. And just like I said, I'm excited to be able to walk away with second. And happy for Rick Rube there. He my teammate got 6th place as well. So it's a good race for our team.
Awesome. Well, before we let you go, Eric, is there any sponsors or shout outs before we let you go?
Yeah, no, I want to say thank you for broadcasting this race. I shared it to our page. I want to say thank you for Rick for racing me clean and, helping me out and everything. He actually fixed my monitors today. I had to reinstall iRacing, and I run triple monitors. It's a little bit different. I have a ultra wide in my center, so things were a little bit messed up. So thank you to him for helping me be able to get back up and running, and Reverly Racing. Everyone over there that helped me, and everyone that works hard at making us better as a team.
Awesome. So again, congratulations on the runner-up finish, Eric, and hopefully we'll maybe see a win in your future.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Yep, no problem. And now it's time to pull in your first place finisher. It's the 18 of Donald Clark. Donald, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I'm with that.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. I know you started in that second spot and you were patient for most of the race, sticking behind Wombold. I know we saw a little bit of an incident there early on between you and Eric, but you did not lose any positions after it, and you just stuck behind Wombold for most of the race, and you had some pressure from Aaron Johnson coming from behind you, and then we saw that little incident with the lap car, Johnson taking a shot down low under Wombold. Didn't work out for either of them. You were able to get by both of them, take the lead, and led for the rest of the way. And even if somebody else did try to come up to try to take the lead from you, you were able to hold them off. So, I mean, Donald, what was your take on this win here at USA?
Allie, this was a tough race tonight. All those cars up front were good. I hate that Eric got turned early. But he had to get on the brakes pretty hard, and unfortunately I got into the back of him and just got him around. So didn't want to see that happen. Eric was going to have a good car. I mean, obviously he come back to second there, I think. But yeah, like I said, it was a really good race. It took a lot of patience riding behind Womble. Riding behind somebody that long, your car gets really tight, just trying to pinch the car to the bottom, try to get a run underneath them. And I burnt my right front up there early in the race, so kind of was at a disadvantage. But when we had that caution, I was able to cool my right front off, and car was just perfect when we went back green.
I know. I saw that as soon as we went back green, you ran the fastest lap time of the race with 19 laps to go. That was impressive. I mean, what do you think helped you do that?
I was able to adjust on the brakes a little bit, put some more force feedback in my wheel, and like I said, the car just fired back off phenomenal. It was really good and like I said, the right front was really hot, so I was able to cool my right front off, and it just had plenty of grip when we went back to green.
Awesome. Well, before we let you go, Donald, is there any sponsors or shout-outs before we let you go?
Yeah, first and foremost, I got to thank all my SPM teammates, everybody back at the shop, DP2 Chassis, Daniel Pope. We run several series, and he works hard on these cars, building setups. Man, he's a class act and builds great setups. All my teammates here that run, Aaron Johnson and Kyle, which he's expecting a baby tonight, is why he didn't make it. So congratulations to him, Terry Bates, and just all the guys that run with us here. My sponsors, Jeff By Jr. Artwork, ITZR in the Zone Racing, my support group out there. I know they're out there watching. My girls, Shaylin, Belle, and Cheyenne, and my wife. She's a little under the weather tonight, Crystal. Hope she feels better.
Got you. Well, again, congratulations on the win, Donald. First win in the season. Hopefully, we'll see many more throughout this season in the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series.
Yeah, thank you, Atlee, and thank you for putting this broadcast deal together, man. You do a great job, and I know a lot of people enjoy watching it.
Thank you for the kind words, Donald. I appreciate that. And again, congratulations on your win. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
No problem. Well, that is going to do it here for the broadcast of the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. I want to thank everyone who tuned in to watch the broadcast here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Trying to reach our goals of 2,000 followers and 1,000 subscribers on Facebook and YouTube by our 2-year anniversary, which will be in April of 2022. So make sure to drop that follow or subscribe. It's free, greatly appreciated. Check us out on Twitter, always dropping polls or asking questions on there. And it also helps support us. So yeah, thank you for tuning in to watch the broadcast. I'm Atlee Atman-Weist on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.